Hello everyone. In this video we're going to see some sights and learn some history about Malahide. If you're seeing this video on Facebook, you can share it. What will help me most is subscribing to my YouTube channel. Malahide is a coastal village about 18 kilometers north of Dublin. Its population is around 16,000 people today. The history of this town is heavily influenced by the Talbot family and the castle that they lived in for over 800 years. In 1185, King Henry II gifted Richard Talbot lands in the harbor of Malahide. The original house built on these lands was a wooden fortress, and it had over 600 acres. The current stone castle that we see has been modified over the years. In 1475, Thomas Talbot was granted title of the Admiral of the Port of Malahide. This allowed him to have duties on all the merchandise coming through the port. 1486 is the first known sketch of the castle. In 1657, there's a survey that lists the castle with 605 acres. In 1765, the towers were added. The only time the Talbots did not live in the castle was between 1649 and 1660. This is when the castle was sieged by Cromwell's soldiers. The last Talbot was Lord Milo Talbot. He lived in the castle until 1973 when he died. His sister Rose had to sell the castle to pay for some of the taxes. She sold it to the Irish state. Rose died in 2009 at age 93. The castle and grounds that we see today was refurbished in 2012 with a $10 million investment. Behind the castle, you'll find Malahide Abbey. This is a ruins of a church and a graveyard. It is estimated that it was built in the 15th or 16th century on top of an earlier church which was dedicated to Saint Fenwise. It is said that Miles Corbett unroofed the church in 1649 to use the lead for bullets. The building was listed in ruins shortly after that. Directly behind the abbey, you can find the visitor center and a restaurant and some shops. Further back, you can find the gardens. There's a walled botanical garden, one of 4 that exist in Ireland. The botanical gardens have a pond. There's 7 glass houses back here and 1.6 hectares of land. There's over 5,000 plant variations on the property. There are over 260 acres of parkland today. This is one of the few surviving 18th century landscaped parks with wide lawns surrounded by trees. The grounds have woodland walking trails, a cricket pitch, 9-hole par 3 golf course, tennis courts, sports pitches, children's playground, and many other offerings. Yellow Walls, which is located west to southwest of Malahide Village, it was a town's lands of 405 acres. Yellow Walls gets its name when you dry linens over stone walls and the sun bleaches the linens, leaving a yellowish color on the stone. Richard Talbot built a cotton mill in 1783 on the Gay Brook stream south of Caves March. By 1800, this building was no longer used for his cotton mill. The building had been used in manufacturing of bleaching salts and even as a school before it was eventually closed. This area has grown in the 1960s and 70s with different housing developments. But you can find at the crossroads of Old Yellow Walls Road and Sea Road 2 of the original houses from back in 1870 and 1879. They even have a TDM sign. The TDM stands for Talbot de Malahide. Here's the Arnd Namara housing development in Malahide. It was the first one in 1964. There was originally 150 detached bungalows, which sold for about £3,000 each. This footage shows the route to the village center from the Marina. There are many pubs and restaurants along the way. This footage shows the route to the village center from the Grand Hotel. In 1792, Richard Talbot granted a lease for the first of 4 houses to be built. These 4 buildings make up the diamond that you find in the village center. Along the road that goes from Dublin to Malahide, you will find these road markers. This one's right outside the Malahide village. GPO is for General Post Office, and this says that it's 9 miles to Dublin, 0 miles to Malahide. These miles, though, were the old Irish miles, where 1 mile was 2,240 yards, where today a mile is 1,760 yards. There's many signs like this on the old national roads within Ireland. St. Sylvester's Well is on Old Road. It is said to be from 430 AD. The origin of the name is not known for sure. There was a 1756 map which showed the well, but did not give a name to it. There's 3 main thoughts of where the name came from. One is the pagan sun god, Sylvanus. The second is Pope Sylvester, who was Bishop of Rome in 313 AD. And the last was a holy man in Ireland from the 5th century that converted Ireland from paganism. This well was used until 1929, when the water mains were installed in Malahide village. The Malahide train station was opened in May of 1844. Malahide is the last stop on the Dublin Dart, which is a name for the commuter line. There's a large viaduct which crosses the Malahide estuary. It's 164 meters long, and it allows trains to travel north to Drogheda and to Belfast. In the northern part of the village sits Malahide Marina Village. There's over 300 residential units. It was first built in 1993, and these units have great views of the estuary and the Irish Sea. This is a panoramic view from above the marina. This is Malahide Estuary and Marina at low tide. The Malahide Grand Hotel was originally built in 1835 by James Fagan of Feltram. Its original name was Royal Hotel, which had ties to the British monarchy. They built this knowing that the railway was coming to Malahide and that it would be a nice destination for the people living in Dublin. The current owner bought the hotel in 1974 and has expanded it. It went from 12 members of staff to over 200. It now has a conference center, over 150 bedrooms, a restaurant, and a bar. Robswall is a town's land east of Malahide village. It's about 215 acres. In 1890, the Malahide estate took over the Robswall lands. Robswall Castle was built in the 15th century as a 4-floor building. It was used as the home of the monks of St. Mary's Abbey. Today, it is no longer a 4-floor building, but it is a private residence. Along the coast, you will find Malahide's Martello Tower. It's in Robswall, and it's now referred to as Hicks Tower. All the towers were built around 1805 as coastal defense against the French. By 1874, the tower was decommissioned and no longer needed for defense. In 1897, it was let to the Talbot family. In 1909, Frederick G. Hicks acquired the land for £175 and converted it into a residential home, which is what you see today. This is Malahide Beach, a great location to go on a wonderful sunny day. Malahide is a wonderful place to visit. I hope you have the opportunity to visit this village. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.